welcome back to Jason Unleashed. So excited to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I am over the moon for my guest because she is the incredible actress, singer, dancer, just one of the most talented people that you've come to love from the hit FX series Pose. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Lulu Ferocity herself, Hailie Sahar. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, me too. I know it's been a lot back and forth, but the universe, Hailie, we did it. We did it. You are in the house.
We did it.
You look incredible. You are glowing. How has quarantine been for you?
Thank you. Quarantine actually has been pretty well for me. I know that I have tough skin and I have one of those minds that's always focusing on my vibration and frequencies. And so when this hit, obviously it was very difficult because I didn't know the outcome and we still don't. But I think just my walk of life of being, a woman of color and then a woman of trans experience, I think I've always had to rely on my inner strength. And that really kicked in overdrive when it came to dealing with COVID. So far I've been really well. I'm in great spirits and very positive about everything.
I love that. You're
Yeah.
about having to really have those killer instincts, really have you survive because never before, Hailie, have we seen what we've been seeing in 2020, pandemic, even more egregious racial injustice against people of color, and more so towards our trans brothers and sisters, which we'll get into in just a second. I feel you on that. What have you learned about yourself in quarantine? A lot of people have had a lot of time to do a lot of self-introspection, a lot of self-discovery. What have you discovered?
Well, my discovery, I think, is a little different from others. I have a pretty good sense of who I am. And I think that goes back into what I was saying about focusing on me as a woman and evolving into who I want to be. I've known who I am for a while. But what I've learned about myself is that I am a lover of perfumes. I am a perfume collector now. At this point, I have about at least 170 bottles of perfumes,
What?
niche fragrances, oud fragrances. I'm a perfume collector. That's something I want to dive into. I love it. I love the history behind perfumes, and I love the nostalgic nature that it brings. I just love that. I love that it's connected to memories, and it just makes you feel good. So yeah, that's something that I've learned. I've also picked up my writing again during quarantine. Currently working on my book, and so I'm really excited about those things.
Okay, we're talking about the book. Fragrances. I'm a huge fragrance fan. I have over 100 myself, and wow, speaking my language, Hailie. So what are your favorites? You said you love niche, you love ouds. Like what are you wearing right in this moment? And what has been like the one you can't live without out of all your 170?
Oh gosh. Okay. The second answer might be a little challenging, but what I'm wearing right now is I'm wearing Mason Francis. I'm wearing Gentle Fluidity, the gold Gentle Fluidity. There's also a silver one, but I'm wearing the gold one. It has a vanilla note in it, but it's not like a overpowering sweet vanilla. It's like authentic, deep, rich vanilla. I'm on the East Coast. It's really cold, so it's perfect for fall and winter. That's what I'm wearing right now. What can I not live without? Hmm. You know what? Right now, I can't live without any of them, to be honest with you. But one that I really, really love is I love Giorgio Armani Privé Vert Malachite
Mhm.
and Rouge Malachite as well. It's from their niche line. I love both of those fragrances. They're very creamy. They're very rich. And again, they're soothing to fall and winter. It just gives you a hug and it smells divine. It smells super expensive. Again, it's from their niche line. And I love it. I love it.
I love that you love fragrances. Let's get. We're going to talk about you becoming an author with this book. I love that as well. But Pose, right?
Yes.
Going into season 3, we've had 2 incredible seasons. Season 1 changed the game. Season 2 even leveled up and created this phenomenon that is not only popular here domestically, but across the world, bringing to light a culture that has been around for decades, the ball culture, including Paris is Burning. This has been a gem in the LGBT plus community for decades, but now I would say it's come to the forefront in a mainstream way because I hate to use the word mainstream because the culture is beyond that. But
Yes.
we're coming into season 3 and the journey for you. First, how did you get on the show, 1? And 2, what has the meteoric success been like for you?
How do I get on the show? Well, I was actually gearing up to come to New York to do an off-Broadway play called Charm. It was done by Bernie and Telsey, who are great friends of mine. They're doing the live version of Little Mermaid. I love them. That was who I was doing the playthrough. During that time, my agent reached out and said that Ryan Murphy was doing a new project, and it was called Pose, and it was about the ballroom culture. And my agent also knew my previous history with actually coming from ballroom myself in my real life. And so I just thought it was befitting. It was something that I definitely know firsthand about. And I auditioned for it. I did a self tape. I think I did like two different self tapes. There were a limited amount of roles that were available. And based off of my self tapes, I was flown out to New York. I met with Ryan and Brad and Steven and a lot of the executives of Pose. It was a room full of people. And I did my audition, and Ryan Murphy just started having a personal one on one conversation about myself and who I am. And so we just, I guess, hit it off from there. And maybe a few months later, I got a phone call while I was doing the play charm. And my agent said, I have a great news for you. Ryan loves you, and you didn't get the role you auditioned for, but he sees something else in you. So they're creating a new role for you, and they want to make you a series regular. And so that's how Pose happened. And so, based off of, I think, our conversation and just my personality, Ryan created something for me, and Lulu was formed. Lulu was not an original character. And so I'm forever grateful for that. And it's changed my life immensely because I have a voice in the sense of people actually want to listen to what I have to say. And I am an activist by nature. I'm a person who is, whether I want to or not, I'm always fighting for love and equality. And so with that voice, it gives me an opportunity to do the thing that comes to me naturally, which is to be here for everyone, not just for the LGBTQ plus community, but for everyone. I think we're all connected in some divine way. And this position has changed my life immensely because I have a platform now, and I'm able to utilize that platform for good.
For good is exactly what you're utilizing it for. Millions of people across the world have seen and looked to Pose as this new beacon of representation, also education, and showing people a world that is so beautiful, that's so colorful, that's so energetic, that is so vibrant and buoyant and full of life, that really was subversive and wasn't something that was, again, mainstream. And
Yeah.
I think it came at the right time. You speak of divine and divinity. I think you getting the role was divine, but also what it's saying now is also more timely, because here we have in 2019, 2018, 2020, our trans brothers and sisters are being murdered and killed exponentially at exponential rates than ever before. And no one was talking about that, right? No one,
Right.
women of color especially, right?
Yes.
For Pose to shine the light with Candy's episode, which was like still to this day so powerful, and your role in that episode still to this day immensely powerful, is divine timing. Moving back to the ballroom scene, when did that bug bite you, and how did that pull out something in you that may have been hidden, or had you evolve into who Hailie was going to become? How did the ballroom scene impact you?
Well, I'll touch lightly on that because I'm mentioning more details in the book. But, I went through a very rough patch of my life as an adolescent. And that rough patch, though it was traumatic, I'm actually grateful for it because that was the thing that pushed me into the ballroom scene. And I've always known who I was as far as how I felt as a woman, and just being comfortable in my own skin. But the ballroom scene gave me that extra push to actually go forward and actually pursue who I knew that I was. And so it honestly changed my life. I wouldn't be here today sitting in this form, speaking this way, had I not found the ballroom scene. So I'm forever grateful for that journey in my life. Though it was traumatic and rough at times, it was also a beautiful thing for me. And it's played a huge role in my life. And I'm able to actually reach back to memories and give back even to Pose and my work as an artist. And so I'm grateful for all of it.
You mentioned reaching back and bringing your real experiences to Pose. I think that's one of the beautiful things about Pose, is that it's telling of those real experiences of people, of the trans experience. For you,
Yes.
how do you juxtapose the emotional, I would say, occurrences when you are in those scenes that remind you of something that you may have gone through? is doing the show healing for you, Hailie?
I can say that there are some aspects of it that are healing. Actually, I would say all aspects of going through a journey like that and playing it out on screen, I'm sure it's healing at some point. I know for me, the episode with Candy, that was something that I actually experienced in real life, not in the same way, but I did have a best friend, actually my best friend since I was 9, that I found the ballroom scene with, that I had lost right before we shot that scene. And so for me, it was healing for me. Um, and it was also hard for me too. I think that's why I was conflicted with that answer. It was hard for me to film it, but I am an artist that truly likes to transcend into the character and let myself go. I believe that everything happens for a divine reason. And so there was a reason why the writers and producers wrote that particular episode and why I was given that episode right before, my friend, I'm sorry, right after my friend passed away. They had no knowledge of that. And I'm not even sure if to this day they even know that. I've not really vocalized that too much. But it was hard for me to do, but it was also therapeutic at some points for me too.
I it's hearing your story and just seeing you describe your life and how and just the intermingling of how this show has been able to bring to life and to allow you to revisit and, as you said, heal from things is truly remarkable. Let's talk about this book, because people that are watching will be like, she keeps bringing
Okay.
this memoir, Hailie. One, I think it's an incredible idea. I cannot wait. You also better narrate it for an audiobook. If you don't narrate it yourself, I'll be really upset.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Because your voice is so soothing. But this book, what made you want to write a book, and why did you feel it was time to tell your story in written form?
Well, I've always wanted to write a book. I even way before Pose, I've always wanted to write a book. There's many things that I want to do, but I think now, like I was saying before in one of my first answers, now that I have a voice, I believe people actually want to hear what I have to say, and because of that, I know that I have a duty to speak for a lot of people that are similar to myself, those that don't have a strong voice or a position of power. And I want to give back. I don't know any other way to say it. I just want to give back. I believe that we're here for such a short amount of time on this planet. And I'm very aware of the time that I'm spending on this planet and what I'm doing with my time. And I want to give back. I want to leave something that's going to help other people. And like I said, my book won't just be for the LGBTQ plus community, it will be for everyone. The way that I will tie storylines in, it will connect all of us where you can see yourself. And I also think that I do a great job at not really looking like what I've been through. And I think that that's one of the, um, how do I say, one of the beauties, but also challenges of being myself, of always kind of holding face and not really saying what I'm actually going through. And so it's a way for me to also heal and to release that energy and to not always feel like I have to be perfect, to not always feel like I have to um, hold this standard that I built for myself. And so it's giving back for myself and also for the audience. And yeah.
When I had the chance to talk to you at ET about a year ago, one of the things that really resonated with me that you said is that you don't live in fear. You don't move. You don't move with fear. That you move with faith. And I think if people don't know that you grew up a preacher's kid, you grew up with a very strong household that was rooted in faith. Your mother,
Yes.
very close to your mother. Your mother was someone who you aspired to be, and I think that you have a very motherly. Well, you're a Cancer, so I think you have a energy about you. But getting back to fear, I think you being able to reveal and share your story
Mhm.
unabashedly, unapologetically, authentically
Yes.
is the ultimate sign of strength and humanity. And I'm glad that you touch on the fact that this is just not for LGBTQ plus people, because I think now more than ever we're all in this together, right? 2020
Yes.
has shown us
Yes.
that we're all going through some shit together, right?
Exactly. No, definitely. Definitely. It's important too for people to understand. Like, I I'm an individual person, and I don't think that, I think people have a pre-notion of like who I am and how I think, because now that you know, let's say my trans experience, I think people categorize you and put you in a box. I'm for all people. I'm for love. I'm for equality. I'm not for marginalization, and I'm just for freedom and just living life to the fullest. And so it's just important for me to now show people the real me. And it's just time. It just feels right.
It's time. It's time. You are a woman of so many layers, so many talents, and you are more than the character of Lulu Ferocity. And I know people are excited to see everything you have coming down the pipe, from this book to all your other projects that you have on the horizon. Season 3 of Pose, we're excited for it. Season 2 left us with Lulu starting on this new journey after becoming coming into her own. I think that Ryan and everyone in the writers' room has done a great job of making sure that each of the women that are celebrated on this show, their stories are concrete. You can attach to each different one and really feel it, because normally with procedural dramas, right, it's an ebb and flow. You have supporting characters, you have people who fall to the wayside, but not with Pose. You guys all have such a passionate, involved, thought out, and very just nuanced way of moving through the show. What are we going to get for Lulu? If you can dish, what's going on for Lulu in season 3?
Now, I can't tell you too much, but I will say that, we've seen somewhat of an evolution with Lulu. We've seen a little bit gradually of her personality and just the things that she's going through. I would say that hopefully we're going to get more of that. Hopefully we're going to get more of a backstory for Lulu. I know a lot of the fans have been reaching out. I'm guilty. I've actually watched a lot of reviews about Pose, especially first season. And I know a lot of people wanted to know a lot of backstories about a few of the characters. And so hopefully we get more of that. But I would say, Lulu's evolution and just diving into her as an individual. And going back to what you said, the beautiful thing about Pose is that once you think you've figured out the story, there's something that happens where it's like, wait, I didn't know you were going to turn that way. And I think that's beautiful. And just expect more of that. And I'm excited to dive into Lulu. And, we've started filming, and I'm really excited about getting back to work.
Hey, first of all, secondly, we're excited for you. And third, this season. Before I let you go, Hailie, like I said, you're multi-layered. You're more than just a character you play on TV. You are someone. You are a woman. You are ambitious. You are faithful. You're happy. You're sad. You're all these wonderful, yummy, delicious things. For yourself, if you weren't acting, what would you be doing? What's next for you beyond acting? What would you love to have come into your life, or what has already entered your life that you thought, wow, I never knew I wanted this. I'm so thankful it's here.
What do I have coming? Well, taking more of the writer's direction, producing. I'm a lover of fragrance now, so I may be designing my own fragrance. And yes, I love the luxury, and I want people to experience that as well. I've been very fortunate and blessed these past few years, and I want people to have a piece of that as well. I want them to experience luxury and beautiful things and feel great about themselves. And so, however I can do that, I want to give back, even if that's in the producer's hat, the writing hat, a fragrance line. Those are things that I'm really passionate about. So, if I wasn't acting, that's what I would be doing.
And we're here for all of it. Here for all of it. It has been immensely joyful and awesome to have you today on Jason Unleashed. Thank you so much for your gifts. Thank you so much for your existence. Thank you so much for your activism, and thank you so much for the talents that are just so otherworldly. You are a treasure, and we are not worthy. We do not deserve Hailie Sahar.
No, no, I'm not perfect. Let me just say I am not perfect, but I do appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, no, none of us are perfect. my camera on my laptop should there's a Drag Race season 1 filter over my face as a legend. But,
it's giving a 90s glow.
90s, but hey, I got my on, so we're good to go, boo. Hailie, you have a great day. Thank you so much for being on Jason Unleashed, and I will see you soon.
Thank you, love. Thank you.
Bye, babe.
Bye.